Hey, my friend, Emily Smiley here. If you're new to my page, it's been a little while since I've gone live. I apologize, but I'm super excited because I want to get on here and start sharing more of what I've been learning and going through, which is today's topic, which is, are you growing? Are you growing personally? Are you growing in your business? I think these are important lessons. When I first started this page, I thought I'm just going to share the how-to. That's what I wanted to learn, right, in my business. And I had felt like I had done all the mindset work and all the growth, but really we know, right? We know that we got to continue the work. There are levels to leadership. There are levels in business. And every time you level, there's another level up to go. So I've been in a mastermind course with some amazing, amazing people, like just crushers as entrepreneurs and business owners. It's a mastermind. I will share the course. It's the 15 laws of growth, invaluable laws of growth. Sorry. Drop me a message if you want that book or the link for it. I can send it. Anyway, we kind of been covering these chapters and what we've been learning about ourselves, and a lot of it I've done the work before. But we did an exercise this week that I thought was particularly valuable that I really wanted to share with you guys because it doesn't take anything, doesn't cost anything, but a little bit of time. And I think it could be helpful, in looking at your growth and maybe what's holding you back, which literally was the title for my topic for my live this week. So I'm going to get to that, what's holding you back and the info that I have for that. But I thought this should preface it because it's kind of a reflection of where you are. So if you watched my last live, I talked a little bit about if you're trying to reach your goals, you have to have an awareness of where you are, right? And then where you're going. And then on top of that, you have to be intentional in how you get there. It's one thing to say you're going to, but the how to, right? Do you need help? Do you need courses? Do you need a mentor? Do you know what is it that you need to get from being aware of where you are and being intentionally where you want to be? So this exercise actually, it asked us to pick our top 5 values, basically in any part of your life. It's basically your core values. Now, I have coached people on, what's important to you when you're talking about branding yourself in your business. What are the top 5, things for your brand? And what I really liked about this particular exercise was this wasn't just business related. This was your core values. And what was an aha moment for me was that the core values are really the root of my content and my branding. Does that make sense? So the exercise was really cool, and you could do this with anything. I mean, they gave us I think there were a couple hundred things on this list. And there was money and success and status and all of that. None of those made my list. And actually, I had to cut it down to 20, then 10, then 6 to get to 5. And a lot of times what I came to, and I'll share in just a moment, if you're hopping on, let me know where you're tuning in from. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you find value in this. But when I got to my top 5, I realized that those were the root for the other. So if I could figure out what was important for me, for my top 5 core values, then that was helpful in leading me into the direction with which I want to go. So for instance, one of my core values that if you've been following me for any amount of time, isn't going to come as no surprise, is faith, right? And if you think about faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. So if you're a business owner, you walk in a certain amount of faith, right? A faith that your business is going to work, if nothing else, right? Why else would entrepreneurs start a business where they may or may not turn a profit for 3 to 5 years? They have a faith that it's going to happen, that they're going to get where they're going. And so for me, that root of that core value led to an eye-opening of, wow, that is where your vision, your purpose, your passion, your focus, your vision, all of those things, if you're building a team, right, that wisdom can stem from that one root of that core value, which would be faith. Faith that your business is going to work. Faith in the team that you're building, right? Faith in the company maybe that you work for that you're building, right? Or your idea, whatever that is. And that's just one example. So my question to you, or my challenge to you, is can you write down your 5 core values? Now, some of the suggestions were, freedom, positivity, communication, faith, honesty. I'm reading notes here. So, responsibility, relationship, service, vision, purpose, profit, productivity, power, unity, trust. Like, the list goes on and on. You could probably Google a whole bunch. But narrow it down to those 5. And then if you've done the video in here, or if you've done any kind of branding work with trying to figure out like what 5 things define me, it probably comes down, the root of it, to your core values. So I thought this was a really great exercise that I just wanted to share with you guys, because it made me dig a little deeper than the branding work that I've done, right? It made me dig a little deeper than, what is my brand and what does it stand for? Or who am I? Like, who am I? I still came at it from who am I, of what am I doing? What are my passions? Like, not what are my core values. So I challenge you to write down your 5 core values. And if you haven't done the branding, I highly suggest that you take those 5 core values. And then if you are trying to, you might be like, Em, I'm totally on board. I understand what you're saying about needing to brand myself inside of my business, needing myself to be my own, right? Because if you're building on social media, which is what I do, like, people don't follow you because of your business. They follow you because of who you are, right? And yes, you solve a problem, and I'm sure you serve and you help people, and there's a transaction, there's a business there. But at the root of that, what is it? What 5 things define you, probably define your business? So I would encourage you to dig a little deeper and ask you, what are your 5 core values that you build your business on, that then determine your brand, that then determine your business? And another interesting point that I thought was really good is, just because it's a core value for you doesn't mean it's a core value for someone else. So if you've ever read the book on boundaries, it was really good. And your what bothers you, what's a boundary for you, may not be a boundary for someone else. And we run into this all the time as entrepreneurs, right? Like, what's important to you, right? Maybe firing your boss, or building a team, or sharing what you love, or fulfilling your passion, or even just personal growth. That might be important for you, but a lot of people are totally fine with, like, clocking in, clocking out, going home, right? That mediocrity, or that, just the norm, if you will, right? And they're okay with that, and that's okay too. So understanding that your core values are not going to be the same as someone else's core values really help us all, right? And those of us, if you have a business, someone else might have a different business, and you might, I support this business, even though it's not like yours. It's the same idea, only in your core values. So I would love to hear how that goes. Feel free to reach out, drop it down here. I hope this added value for you. I encourage you to try this exercise. I thought it was amazing. I certainly learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how to intentionally move forward, which is my, phrase or word of the year, if you will. And in a lot of ways, it doesn't feel so much like we are moving anywhere this year. And so we talked about the power of the pause. And so I would just encourage you to pause and take a few minutes to sit down and reflect on these, and how you can intentionally use them to move, your personal life forward, but also your business life. All right, you guys, that's all I got for today. I really hope that you found value in this. Give me some feedback if you do try this. I would love to know how it goes. You don't have to share specifically, just if you got value from the exercise. I would love to know. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Crush it.